to your buddies. You look to your friends.
There's only a couple guys in the whole world that make me love pro wrestling, and you're one of them.
You know, all the bad shit you've heard about us, it's all true. But another thing that's true is we love professional wrestling, and that's why we're here. I'm not sports entertainment anymore.
Talk to him, kid.
This is a new beginning, and it starts tonight.
A new day is dawning for DX.
Yo, who you talking to?
Hey, X-Pac 12360 fans. We're coming at you with another big episode today from AfterBuzz TV. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. We are going to be talking about the week's pro wrestling news headlines. Plus, Uproxx writer Bill Hanstock will be joining us to talk about Gronk going all Steve Austin at the Patriots parade. You know what I'm talking about. And an exclusive interview with Lucha Underground's Willie Mack. It's all coming up today on X-Pac 12360. My name is Christy Olsen, and we got Jimbo over there on the couch. What's up?
What's up, everybody? You look lovely in red.
Why, thank you.
Lady in red.
Thank you.
How are you?
It'll be my new color if you say so.
Oh.
I'm good. And how are you, Mark B. Donica?
Doing fantastic, Christy Olsen. Excited to hear from our good friend Bill Hanstock.
Yes! A friend to AfterBuzz, Bill Hanstock, and a friend to everyone, and everyone's favorite former WWE superstar, Sean X-Pac Waltman.
I'm pretty sure there might be a few people that take exception to your statement that I'm a friend to everyone. But
Well, we got 2 words for him.
what's that?
Download
I wanna hear you
it.
say it. Jimbo,
What up?
when you get up after the show, there's like this permanent like indentation in that couch from your ass.
Good to know.
We're gonna have to put your name on that couch.
It's an
Put
old
a
couch. What
placard
can we
on
say?
there,
I should
Jimbo's
get, I
couch.
should get a little cushion.
Yeah.
You feel those springs there in your
I
butt?
do, yeah. Your ass falls asleep after sitting on this for like 2 hours.
What's up, Marcus?
Doing good, Sean. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I didn't ask you how you were doing. I asked you what's up.
What's up? Lights, the sky ceiling. Nervous.
Jeez. Boy, this one's getting off
gonna be a
to
good day.
hell of a
Yeah, wow,
start.
we're a rousing start here at AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah. How about that Super Bowl?
How about it? I didn't see
watch it.
one
Usually
second
it's like,
of it.
how about that weather? Today it's how about that Super Bowl? No, amazing. I'm not a huge football fan at all.
No.
I know tons of football players, past and present. Nothing but respect, but I don't follow the game enough for to be considered a fan. So I was a bit indifferent to the game itself. I always dig the commercials, like a lot of people. But and really, the Falcons, it wasn't like I was rooting for any one team, but it wouldn't have broke my heart if the Falcons won.
Yeah.
I didn't want to admit that around here
I was going to say.
because of all the Patriots fans. And I'm a fan of theirs too, But after that huge ass whipping that Atlanta was toting to the Patriots, I'm like, oh, hell no. No, they can't go down like this. So all of a sudden I started caring, especially when Brady started showing a little bit of signs of life. I'm like, oh, shit's on. I knew it. I just knew it. I knew that was...
See, I'm automatically thinking like a wrestling fan, like, oh, they did that on purpose. They got
comeback.
down as far as they knew they could to make that big
Sure.
old comeback and make that money.
Yeah.
It was scripted.
They had to do something to get people to turn it back on.
Right?
I think Maria's dad even left the room, went upstairs, and started watching something else on TV.
Oh, he was that disappointed,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh, he gets mad.
Yeah.
Maria Menounos' father. He does that a lot. But, okay. So,
Well, how rare, I think, maybe that you say in a room, oh, how about that Super Bowl? And everyone else is like, oh, we didn't see it.
yeah. No, but like legit. The
Pro
greatest
wrestling
thing,
fans, people.
one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Story. You could not have written a scripted ending better than that. It was just amazing. But
True that. Well, we got Bill Hanstock, I think, waiting on
Yeah.
the line here pretty soon because he's going to talk about the Patriots parade.
yeah.
They had quite a celebration, and there were some WWE elements involved there. So, Mark, do we have Bill coming up here pretty soon?
I think we got Bill on the line right now.
Oh hell no.
Bill, are you there? It's AfterBuzz TV.
It's true, I'm here.
I believe you've heard of us.
William.
From the NXT After
Hello.
Show and UpRocks.com, we have Bill Hanstock joining us now.
What's up, Bill?
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Oh, fantastic.
You're
Bill's
looking
actually
good in
right
this
next
promo
door,
shot.
calling us from right next door, trying to make it seem big time here.
Like Natty and Nikki last night.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, you wrote a little article on UpRocks.com covering Gronk and all of his antics, everybody toting around the WWE title. Tell us what went down at this big Patriots celebration.
Yeah, the WWE was definitely well represented. The Patriots received their custom WWE Championship belt that Triple H sent them. They were all posing with it. And, of course, people were throwing beer, and we had reports of people throwing some other things to the Patriots players, but we weren't able to confirm that. But
Massachusetts is
beer.
marijuana legal now, so I imagine it might have been a
It's
little bit
legal.
of
I
reefer.
see.
It is legal. It is legal. We heard that people were tossing baggies at the Patriots players, but we weren't able to actually confirm that via video or anything. But Gronk got tossed a couple of beers, and since he's a big wrestling fan and because his good friend is Mojo Rawley,
Yeah.
he had to do what any person does when they're confronted with a beer in each hand and people looking at them, and he did the Stone Cold beer chug.
Nice. Now,
Of course he did.
WWE, Bill, they've been doing this for a few years now. Whenever a team wins or somebody like, okay, Serena Williams recently, for instance, they presented her with the championship belt, and I think that's so smart, Bill.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant move. I feel like it was probably Triple H that started that initiative, but it's a brilliant move on their part because anytime that they send a championship belt to anyone from the major sports or a major athlete, I mean, they get people like my website writing about it. So
Yeah, and
it's easy, free press anytime.
And the teams just love it, Bill. I mean, they love it. It seems like it's one of their favorite things when they went, oh, we're going to get a belt from the WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only
I'm sure that
criticism, Bill,
you-
my only criticism is they should have had a belt for every player on the team. Come on, man. Come on, WWE. You got the bank. Let's
I was gonna say that's
do
gonna
this
cost
right, man.
a pretty penny.
come on, Hunter.
Man.
What do we got to do to get
Actually,
them to
the
pass
only-
out titles to
the
the
only
top
time that
podcast?
The only time that happened was when LeBron James one year bought a replica belt for every member of the Cavs.
He
Very
would.
cool.
He
Very
would do
nice.
that. He would. Well, so the crowd's throwing in beers. Gronk goes all Steve Austin, right? He rips his shirt off. I mean, he's a well-known WWE fan, though, right? And there have been a lot of rumors that he would maybe step into the WWE ring at some point. What do you hear about that, Bill?
Well, Mojo Rawley said a few times that Gronk is, quote, dying to step into a WWE ring. I actually got a chance to sit down with Gronk not too long ago last year when he was working on his Nickelodeon show, and he's definitely interested. He's a big-time wrestling fan. Mojo Rawley is one of his best friends.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just, anytime he gets a chance to be around NXT or be around the Performance Center or go to a WWE show, he's super into it. He's like a massive child as far as just getting into the shows and loving it. He shares a lot with Mojo in that respect, although he has said, he told me that Mojo Rawley is too much for him sometimes, and he has to just
He
get away and take a nap.
He is. That guy's insane. Yeah, that gimmick is like legit. Like he really is
He's
that guy.
hyped?
Yeah.
Stays hyped.
Yeah. Yeah, but Gronk, all those guys, they showed up one time when I was at FCW watching one of their TV tapings, and Dean, his name's Dean Watabe, but obviously goes by Mojo Rawley. They were there almost all, like Tom Brady wasn't there, but damn near every one of the other Patriots was there. Gronk, all of them were in the crowd, just going crazy. Yeah, they loved it.
I bet he would have loved to meet you. Did you get that opportunity?
No. Well, you know what? I might have. I don't remember.
I'm sure Gronk would remember.
Yeah, anyways.
Well, he's paying homage to Steve Austin with all this. What do you think Austin thinks about getting this little nod?
I don't think I mean, I'm sure it's cool for him, but it just doesn't seem like he's that type of guy that gets all Like for me, if somebody did that, I don't.
Well, we'd love
I'd
it for
react
ya.
like a little kid, you know?
We'd make a big deal out of
Yeah,
it.
I don't think. I think he digs it, but
Yeah.
he wouldn't react like I would have. You know.
What do you think about all this, Bill? Any final thoughts to add?
I think Steve probably gets a big kick out of it because during the last NBA Finals, when Kevin Love showed up on the postgame show, wearing the Austin 316 shirt and sporting the Rattlesnake skull belt, Austin gave him a big shout out, gave him a swig of beer, of course, which is the highest Steve Austin compliment that can be paid.
Of course.
So I'm sure he gets a big kick out of it, but I feel like WWE and Gronk at some point they're gonna have to do something together.
You know what seems like it seems like a good idea this year's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Something at this year's
Strike while the iron's
WrestleMania.
hot.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Right? How about someone who's a fan instead of Conor McGregor, which has also been being discussed.
I'm not all for. Hey, what do you think about that stuff, Bill? While we have you on the line, the Conor McGregor stuff.
I think Conor McGregor could be something really special, just like Floyd Mayweather was, because he's another personality, even more so than Floyd Mayweather. He's someone that wrestling fans just hate because of the stuff that he's said in the past. And Conor, as much as he claims to hate wrestling fans and wrestling, he's taken a page out of Wrestling 101. He's taken a page out of Chael Sonnen's book and just turned everything up to the next level. He has become the heel in mixed martial arts, the heel in sports, perhaps. And he's even claimed ownership now of the strut that he stole of Vince McMahon. He says that he has made that strut more popular than Vince McMahon did.
Okay, fair enough for him to say that, but it just makes me think that they really have some actual serious plans if he's doing all this. So,
yeah, I feel like well, this is the thing about Conor McGregor, and this has always been the thing about Conor McGregor is if you give him a check that he is happy with, he will do whatever you're paying him to do.
Amen.
Hey.
So it's just about whether they meet his price, whether that's $5 million or $10 million just to show up and get hit by someone, or whatever it is, to show up at WrestleMania and get booed. If they meet his price, he's going to be there.
Here's the thing, Bill. When it comes to WWE and how when they bring a celebrity like that in, they will stroke his ego like no one else, and they will put him over. Somebody will. I mean, like they did with Mayweather. They had him go over on show, and that's just what they do there. They always shine the celebrity. Like WCW, Bill, like they would bring in, Karl Malone. They'd have him do the job, or done it. You know what I mean? They didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
They paid those guys good money, so they were going to do what the hell, Eric wanted. So there was different philosophy in dealing with the celebrities from the two companies. But
How did
anyways,
Big Show feel
let me
about
ask
that?
you, Sean.
What's that?
Who would you position against Conor? Who would you have
wow.
give Conor the rub, or have Conor give the shine to?
Whoever it is got to be up there. I don't know, man. I don't know, Bill. I haven't gotten that far in my head yet because really, like, it's only just recently I started going, okay, this actually is going to happen. I think he's going to end up in a WWE ring somehow. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. It sounds like Marcus has an idea.
What's that, Mark?
Well, I
Donica?
don't have an idea. What?
I said Nakamura.
Oh yeah, Nakamura.
No, that was Jimbo.
Yeah, but I don't know if Nakamura is a big enough star. Like,
Well, I think that's just whoever they put him in the ring with is gonna be now at top level. So that's a good way of getting people who are kind of iffy about Nakamura and don't really know, showing him this is an established character that is at the top of the
And
chain.
he is another over-the-top sort of character, so those two meeting in the middle could be fun.
there's just not going to be enough shit talk between the two. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think what I would have do is if they're gonna have Conor get the last word, which they usually do because he's a big celebrity, I'd position him against someone like Neville.
Oh wow, really? Because I was thinking it would be somebody way higher up on, as far as, we're talking about feeding somebody's ego here.
Well, I just go back to what they did with Stephen Amell and they
Yeah.
positioned him against the person that made the most sense character-wise. They had the super villains against Arrow, the superhero.
Right.
So I would put not only have Neville be the Irish guy versus the British guy, but also you have Neville looking to make a name for himself, saying he's the king of the cruiserweights. Maybe you don't play up the cruiserweight aspect because you don't want to make Conor seem like a little guy, but you also don't want to put him up against anyone who has any serious size in
Why not?
WWE, because, well, anyone standing next to Conor McGregor, there's the risk of making Conor McGregor look like the little
Small.
bitty guy that he actually
Well, he
is.
is.
Like a short
He is
man.
what he is, and I mean, it wasn't really an issue for Floyd Mayweather. I mean, I didn't think.
Well, that's true.
And what it started making me think, Bill, was there was some shit talking going on at one point between Sheamus and Conor McGregor. So maybe there might be something they could do there. Who knows?
You bring
And
up,
also Conor and Roman Reigns got into it, and I think that
yeah,
having somebody that wrestling fans hate as much as Conor McGregor is a good way to get them to cheer someone like Roman Reigns.
Would you think that maybe Conor McGregor could be utilized as a special referee?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe that might be a
Maybe
good
an
idea.
enforcer character.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
the Mike Tyson role.
Anyways.
when you bring up Neville, it made me think Austin Aries would be great because they could go on the mic against each other.
I just
That
think
would
that
be-
Conor McGregor is going to want to beat the shit out of somebody
That's
a lot bigger deal than
Yeah.
Austin Aries. I really do.
that makes sense.
I mean, these things that they seem cool in our minds, but if you
Yeah.
look
The
at it, if
masses.
you look at it from how like
Vince.
the heads of WWE are looking at it,
Why
I don't
waste
think they would
spending all this
ever
money
even
on Conor
consider
McGregor
that.
to put him in the ring with someone
Right?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially to give the rub, because that's a hell of a rub, man.
And do you think, as
Yeah.
far as the size difference, they put Mayweather in there with the Big Show because anyone looks small compared to the Big Show?
Yeah, that's probably I never
Yeah.
thought of it, but I mean,
Yeah.
Because if you put Conor in
So-
there with somebody that,
In-
like a Kurt Hawkins or like an Austin Aries, who everyone thinks is a small guy, and then you see they tower over him, you're like, huh, that dude's really tiny. But
you know, Bill, I heard that actually Mayweather wanted to do the job at WrestleMania, and Vince was like,
Oh, that's
"Oh,
really
no."
interesting.
Yeah, that's actually true. So, and I heard that from
wow,
somebody that would know.
We will take your word for it.
Yeah.
And thank you, Bill, for sharing your words
Yeah,
with
man.
us today. Anytime you got
For
a
sure.
big
Thanks,
breaking
guys.
story, you let us know. You can call in and chat about it.
Oh, thanks very much. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All
Thanks,
right,
Bill.
thanks, Bill.
Have
We'll
an
see
awesome
ya.
day.
And you guys can check out
you
all
too.
of Bill's WWE coverage at uprocks.com, and he's also on the AfterBuzz TV NXT After Show. So make sure you check that out. And while you're doing things for me, go to ProWrestlingTees.com, go to Sean Waltman's store, and get your very own, Jimbo's modeling it for us, X-Pac 12360 t-shirt. These are cool, and it makes you part of the crew. So do that, and if you're listening to us on iTunes, you don't want to miss any of these juicy exclusives. We got Willie Mack coming up in a little bit. All of our episodes are there on iTunes. Please hit subscribe, and we would love it if you all would rate and comment and write us a little bit of a review. Let us know what you think about the show. We want to know what you think, and also that helps us in our ratings. So we're on top on your podcast. We want to be on top on the charts. So actually, I don't think Sean cares about that, but I do. So like, rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. Thank you very much.
Pretty easy to be part of the crew around here.
just need a shirt.
Yeah.
Hey, we're very welcoming,
Very cool.
right?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
love it.
Anyways, buy the shirt. Damn
the
it.
shirt.
Buy the shirt, and now
How about a
listen
little
to some X-Pac 12360 news of the week.
X-Pac 12360 Wrestling News.
Starting off with a rumor that is now confirmed. This is for sure. The Rock and Roll Express will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. We know it's all going down March 31st in Orlando, live at the Amway Center. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson will be there. This is long overdue and well-deserved. These guys had 8 reigns as the NWA World Tag Team Champions.
yeah.
They've reigned like 15 different companies, and man, 40 years they've been in the ring. They're still doing it. This is well deserved, as I said.
Yeah, I don't know anyone, or I can't imagine one person one wrestling fan, of course there's going to be that one asshole, but especially now
Barring
that I
that one
said
asshole.
something, yeah, you're an asshole talking to you. Anyways, that would have a problem with the Rock and Roll Express being in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, fellas. I can imagine those guys might have thought, geez, I'm not going to hold my breath waiting for this. Just because they weren't really a WWF, WWE tag team, although they were there. They were there at the same time
They
I
made
was.
some appearances in the 90s.
Yes, in the early 90s. But how can you overlook the Rock and Roll Express? Come on. One of the greatest tag teams of all time. Right up there. Top 5 tag teams of all time.
For
Easy.
sure. And in addition to what they accomplished themselves, the impact that they had on
Yes.
future wrestlers and
That's right.
future singles competitors and tag teams.
Next to the Road Warriors, are right up there with the Road Warriors, the most copied act in the history of wrestling, I think. Or up there, yeah.
For sure. Who do you think inducts them?
Jim Cornette, I don't know.
That's a speculation that people are tossing around, but people
Why not?
don't know how.
Oh, come on.
The
That's
relationship
bullshit. Look, WWE is way bigger than petty bullshit like that. If Rock and Roll Express want Jim Cornette to induct them into the Hall of Fame, then Jim Cornette's going to induct them into the Hall of Fame. Bottom line, end of story, period.
I thought Steve Corino would be a good option if they didn't want to go with Jim Cornette because he's already working for WWE. He's a huge fan of them, and it'd be a good way to reintroduce them to the WWE universe.
No, Jim Cornette. Nobody can talk. Very few people on the same level as Jim Cornette when it comes to talking, giving a speech. He's just an amazing orator, and that should be the guy.
And he would want to do it.
Yes. Right. Oh my God. Hell yeah. I can. Yeah. I don't think Jim. I think Jim thinks that chances are unlikely, and I think he's wrong. Well, I know he's wrong.
All right. Well, let's move on to 2 more guys who will have a big weekend at WrestleMania. The much-anticipated Goldberg-Brock Lesnar match is going down at WrestleMania 33 as Goldberg accepted Lesnar's challenge on Raw simply by saying, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 33, Orlando, it's on. That's all it takes. We all know that they had their first encounter at WrestleMania 20 and then again at Survivor Series this year, which lasted only 1 minute and 26 seconds. And Goldberg, of course, eliminated Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble, too. So they have got a score to settle, although people are wondering if this maybe will end up being for the Universal Championship. Because
sure seems
he
like
interrupted
of course
Keven, and so he and Keven are going to have a match at WWE Fastlane. That's going down in a few weeks on March 5th, and that will be a title shot for Goldberg. So he says, Kevin Owens, you and your title are next. He does have 2 matches remaining on his contract, Goldberg does, by all reports. This Fastlane match and then WrestleMania. So we'll see how this all goes down.
Yeah. Look, it seems like it's almost telegraphed. Like it's just too obvious that, okay, he's going to end up with the Universal title going into Mania. So it makes me wonder, like, is he really? So we'll see. They definitely don't need hardware, for a prop going, a belt.
Right.
They don't need that. So it doesn't hurt. It dresses the match up a little bit, having a title on the line, giving their, making it, the stakes higher, but they just don't need it.
No,
they really don't.
And that would involve Kevin Owens losing the title, which I don't really see happening either.
And just open up a whole other can of worms. And you can't run your company based on backlash from, a certain subset of fans, but you have to be mindful of that at the same time. They're still part of your WWE universe. Right. So, and their voice counts too. So, why do it? Why do it? I just don't see it. Like, the deal is how do they get out of that match, though? So we'll see how creative they can be without,
We have less than 2 months leading up to it, so
who
knows what story we will get in the meantime.
It's always a good idea to have a finish already figured out before you book an effing match. That's all I have to say.
And would you say that happens pretty often or not?
Not nearly enough.
Okay.
At all.
Well, speaking of what goes on behind the scenes, let's move on D'Amore has returned to Impact Wrestling. He is the former head of creative there, and that now when he's back, he'll be filling many roles. He's already working in international relations and creative, and actually helped Jeff Jarrett broker this deal with Pro Wrestling Noah. That TNA has teamed up with them. We don't have a lot of details on that. Both companies have announced it, and they said they did hold a press conference, but pretty much all they said is we're looking forward to making a formal announcement in the future. So apparently Scott D'Amore had a hand in that, and he will be having a hand in much more that's going on behind the scenes.
Scott brings a lot to the table. He was, he was actually a pretty good professional wrestler as well.
Yes.
And I've teamed with him up in the Windsor, Detroit area.
In Canada?
Oh, yeah. I think it was Border City Wrestling, I think it was. But, anyways, Scott and Jeff Jarrett are close. Jeff trusts Scott. Scott did a great job on a lot of things. And, you don't put, I guess you're not putting a title on somebody because, is wearing many different hats. And I think that's what makes somebody valuable in our industry. You need to be able to do a bunch of different things, and Scott D'Amore can. He's a businessman also. He's runs successful business outside of wrestling. So
seems like they're bringing back a lot of people from behind the scenes and front of the camera from back in the day.
Well, a lot of these people, Christy, were people that did a good job. I guess people didn't realize it until they saw how bad of a job could actually be done running that company. So, it would be nice to get some new blood in there, some fresh blood. Yeah. New eyes on something, also. So, hopefully they do that as well, and not
fresh
just
blood,
go backwards.
as in like talent no one's seen before?
No, I'm talking about administrative talent, administrative. They're talent too. Creative, all of that, new ideas and marketing. Just there's a lot of things that professional wrestling is on the cutting edge of, entertainment wise, and then a lot of shit that wrestling's behind on, or has no, So hopefully. I think TNA's going to do well, or they're going to survive. Yeah. And not.
They got the Hardys.
And not just. Let me just rephrase that. Not just survive. I think they're going to do fine.
Perhaps even thrive.
Yeah. Sure. Why not? Especially in the environment that's okay. The professional wrestling landscape doesn't suck right now, and it's getting better. And it's nice to see it finally getting better again. Yay.
Hey, like you said last week, it's a good time to be a pro wrestling fan.
It's a great time to be a professional wrestling fan.
Absolutely. And this has been your X-Pac 12360 News of the Week. I'm Christy Olson, the managing editor and chief correspondent of AfterBuzz TV's Pro Wrestling News Division. And I'm sure we'll be making some big headlines in this next interview. We will be right back with Lucha Underground's Willie Mack. Stay tuned.
What's up, party people? Roxy Stryer here from The Tomorrow Show with Keven Undergaro. We're your twice-weekly broadcast of one man's midlife crisis and the mad millennials in Star Trek uniforms that follow him.
And I'm one of those millennials, Lauren Magrasso here. We've had some amazing guests like Russell Simmons, Ileana Douglas, and Craig Gass. Coolio, right?
Christian Blatt in the house to tell you to go to thetomorrowshow.com to check us out. We're live every Monday and Thursday from 10 to midnight Eastern. That's thetomorrowshow.com. Be there or be square, whatever that means.
We're back on X-Pac 12360. Growing up in South Central LA, today's guest was determined to blaze his own trail in the pro wrestling biz. He began developing his in-ring skills as a teenager, working the SoCal indie scene while continuing to train. In 2010, he went from pro wrestling guerrilla faithful spectator to competitor when he made his PWG debut and continued to dominate there for years. The winner of the 2015 Championship Wrestling from Hollywood Red Carpet Rumble, he even beat out the man sitting right here next to me. Known as the Mack on Lucha Underground, where he's noted for his high-flying antics, athleticism, and big old personality, Chocolate Thunder is rolling in. Please welcome Willie Mack.
Yeah, all right.
How y'all doing tonight?
How was that, Willie? Everybody, you know what? Everybody else puts over the introduction. You didn't put it over. What's up with that?
Well, It did just catch me waking up. I'm lazy.
Well, that's all right. It's only one here.
Well, appreciate you even joining us, man. You're a hard man to get a hold of these days.
Not really. You just gotta hit me up on the Facebook and the Twit box and all the other good stuff, and I'll hit you back.
I'm just giving you shit anyways. But hey, Willie, okay, people don't know, and I can understand why, because not many haven't told the story much, but I've known you forever. Like, I mean, not ever, but I've told a story. Tell me the first time we ever met and how that happened.
It was crazy. It was like I was 14, and I was at the high school, and, Marcus Haggerty, my teacher, he always used to go to Hollywood to the Rainbow Room out in Sunset, and he said, yeah, man, I met X-Pac. He said he wanted to come by the school. And us, we like, man, you don't know X-Pac with your lying ass. Shut up. You ain't like, I'll bring him by the school, Willie. Watch. I'm like, all right. Sure enough, he pull up in his little green car, and who we see in the passenger seat? None other X-Pac. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, come on. And we chopped it up, and I told you about how I go to XPW shows and want to be a wrestler. As soon as I graduated high school, I was going to get into it. You said, all right, man, do it and keep it up. And like when y'all was leaving, like one of the teachers was like, we're going to tell him to suck it. He was like, hell no, don't do that. And we was like, get you, Croft. We were like, X-Pac. You look back, we were like, suck it. And you was in the passenger seat, you stuck your leg up and gave us the crop shot back. That's my day.
Yeah, it was a great day for me too. When I saw Willie, I was like, oh my God, there's no way this kid can be like a kid. Because Willie, you were the same size then as you are now, I swear to God.
Yeah, pretty much always been big.
Yeah. And he was like, and you were actually, because, I can understand why, but you kind of had that, it wasn't a standoffish attitude, but you kind of had the, I'm a badass,
Well, he was
projecting that.
You
were projecting that. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I hope nothing happens here and this kid gets, too lippy with me, because I'd have a hell of a time having to do something with this guy. Some 14-year-old kid kicking my ass, make it on TMZ.
Some TMZ. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but it was really cool. And the next time I saw you, Willie, that I remember seeing you was when we were shooting a WSX pilot. Is that correct?
Yep. That was around that time, and I met you one more time at a random New Japan show that they did in Hollywood.
At the dojo? Oh, no.
At the Hollywood Athletic Club by Amoeba Records.
That's right.
Did you remember him as the 14-year-old kid that
of course
you
I
didn't
did.
want to get into it with?
Of course I remember, didn't I, Willie?
Yep, because Haggerty was like, hey, X-Pac gave me some passes to the show, but I got something to do tonight, so I'm going to give them you. I'm like, free wrestling tickets? Hell yeah. All access pass? Of course.
Yeah, but it was, when I saw Willie at the WSX, it had been a few years, and I wasn't surprised at all. I just had a big smile on my face, and I knew I'd see you eventually.
How good did that feel with X-Pac remembering you?
It was awesome because, this fool, a superstar and everything, been on TV, been around the countries, everywhere else, and he remembered me from, like, a few years back, and it's awesome because most people, they be like, oh, okay, you say the hi just to get him get back off of you, but, like, he actually remembered me. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, of course, man. And I just, when you see certain people and you meet them, there are certain people that you meet and they just have it. Mm-hmm. To have this thing you can't, the X Factor, we used to call it until the TV show came up.
Well, yeah, that sounds like almost you sense that you would be seeing him again
I
in the
know.
future.
I just knew. And it's easy for people to say those type of things after the fact, and I do it a lot, but I really did. I knew. And Willie, I've been a big proponent of yours, and, really pushed for Willie to get into NXT, but their loss.
That's
what
right.
happened? Tell us about that, Willie.
Well,
we'll just get it out of the way. Just once, Willie, and then we'll get it out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I got him to do it, and they're like, all right, you're gonna have this tryout. You told me about it, and I was like, all right, hell yeah, I'm down for whatever I'm getting paid to. Did it in February. heard back from him in March. Got signed, because a lot of people think I got signed in September and released in September. No, I was signed for 6 damn months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then I finally had to say all my goodbyes and had to remove everything around to get ready to move to Florida. October 27th of 2014 was when I was supposed to report down there to NXT. Well, they did the physical and talked about, oh, we can't sign you because the doctor said there's something wrong with your knee. I don't like how your blood pressure is. I'm like, all right, can you send me the medical results and stuff to see what's up? Sure enough, I got my release. I got caught on a Friday to release, and they sent it on Saturday through FedEx. But you think I ever got that medical stuff? Nope.
Well, I've heard you say that before in interviews, but you kind of speculated that maybe once they've heard that, once you've said it, that you would get some. So still no medical records?
I ain't got a damn thing, no scan, no FedEx. FedEx is fast as hell, too, but nope, nothing in the mail.
Yeah, I know FedEx is fast as hell. I got fired by it one time. But anyway, no, you know, in WWE's defense on that, it is so freaking hard to pass a physical to go to work in WWE as a wrestler or even a referee these days. Yeah. I say this and I mean it because it's true. I'm going to say probably more than half of the people that I wrestled with back in the days would never pass the physical now, and that's the truth.
Not like when they were in shape,
that's
they
right.
wouldn't have even passed it.
No way.
Wow.
No.
Well,
I was born back in the day, I'll probably have a job now.
Damn right. And you will. And the thing is, Willie, is you will one day on your own terms, which is going to be better. That's the thing, Willie. I wouldn't. You know, it just wasn't the right time. Even though it was a mad hassle and a letdown, it wasn't the right time. And now it seems like you're running on all cylinders and shit's just going really good for you.
Yeah, because it's like, I guess it's like a test from upstairs, big man upstairs, because it's like, all right, you want to go this direction, but I'm going to put you this way. And it seems like what I'm doing on Lucha Underground is putting me like in a bigger light than I probably would have had if I was in WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like it's showcasing me a little bit more.
Yes, and you're going to be more valuable to them, making a big name for yourself and developing yourself on your own, on the independents, and that's, I think, what they've come to realize, with guys like Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, guys like that those guys had to go prove themselves and grow on the independents, so.
Willie, have you gotten any indication from anyone there or anyone who works with the folks there that maybe they still have an eye out for you, or that there is a chance that you may be returning there in the future?
Not too sure. It's like, I guess they don't really know too much, but like they say your name come up a lot. Oh. But it's like, I don't know what to take about that. Be like, all right, my name coming up, what that's supposed to mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I know this. When I was like on Twitter, back when all this happened, I was pretty upset, man. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I shed a tear when I found that out. I think it was Kevin Gill told me while I was doing a show, and it really upset me. And so I kind of said some things on Twitter, and Regal came to me and just said, hey, come on, man. Like, we really wanted that guy. You're making us sound like we're, this or that. And so so I know that they really dig you, Willie. I know they think you're great, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, it will happen if you choose for it to happen. But right now, Lucha Underground is what's going on for you. And how's that going, man?
It's going good because, like, I came in because people knew I was signed there and got released. And another thing about the release I hated, people thought it was because they said, oh, he smoked weed.
Right.
I haven't smoked weed in about 6 years. What you talking about? I'm the cleanest, healthiest fat dude you ever seen. What you talking about? When did he have a job? Hell yeah, I stopped smoking weed for a minute.
Yeah. Hey,
but then, like, Lucha Underground is like, I came in right after I got released, and sure enough, it was a dark match. I went out and the crowd erupted, got on their feet, and I never felt happier because I felt like I didn't want to wrestle ever again. Like once that happened to me, because it was like I ended up homeless. I have 10 pets to take care of, and we all was out on the streets basically, and the girlfriend, and we had to relocate to Vegas just to get back up on our feet. And it was like Lucha Underground came at the right time because I done had no kind of financial backing after everything else happened to me. And I'm glad they hit me up when they did, because Conan was like, we heard what happened to you when we offered you a contract. And I'm like, at this point, I don't care. As long as there's money in my pocket to feed my little family I got, I'm going to take it and make the best of it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the contract and the money there, they've just announced that seasons 1 and 2 are going to be available on Netflix, and that there's also a season 4 coming to the El Rey network. So is that, are we going to be seeing you on season 4 for sure?
I hope so. Hell yeah. And they on Netflix too. That means they gonna have to up the pay grade, baby.
Right?
Yeah, baby.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that part of your contract? Like if that would have happened, or you thinking you got to go back and renegotiate now?
I can't disclose too much of that, but best believe I'm gonna have some negotiations and whatnot going on.
Well, we got to see the second half of season 3 first. Can you give us any teasers? What's the Mac gonna be up to?
The Mac gonna be up to taking on Johnny Mundo in an all-night long match for that Lucha Underground Championship, and I'm just gonna say, stick around. The rest of the season is gonna be awesome. So just check it out and stay tuned. That's all I can say.
Hey,
back to me, baby.
Willie, what's the stipulations in an all-night long match?
It's just like a Iron Man match, basically.
Yeah.
It's like the whole entire episode is around us, and I'm like, damn, y'all putting that much trust in me to put me in an hour-long match with Mundo for the title? Hell yeah, I'm gonna make the best of it, but I'm probably be tired afterwards.
Yeah, but you're gonna have a hell of a match. I guarantee it. It'll be great.
Absolutely, it will.
How important is winning gold in any company you go in, but especially in Lucha Underground, and them making you their flagship heavyweight champ to you?
Oh, as a kid, you always knew the main person with the title was like, that was the dude. That was the one you were supposed to look up for, and like the company is putting all their backers behind them to put them on the front to be the, what you say, like the flagship, the one to lead the way for it. And it's like, that's a lot of pressure, but if they putting it on you, that's for a good reason, because they trust you. Because sometimes the dudes who have it don't even trust themselves, but somebody else got confidence in you that make you feel more powerful than you already are.
Hey, Willie, what about like all the guys that you work in Lucha Underground with right now? Who are the guys that you have the best chemistry with?
So far, a lot of them. Like I can have a good match with anybody. It's
goes
awesome,
without saying.
Let me see, like Mundo's good.
Yeah.
Brian Cage, of course, because everybody loved me and him matches for some reason. Tejano is awesome. Damn, there's so many. Drago's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Pentagon Jr., they all pretty good. Phoenix, that's a bunch of people to name, and I ain't gonna name all of them because I'm running.
Sure, yeah.
When you go up against those guys, we see on Lucha Underground, and you're using Steve Austin's stunner move. You're chugging beers. It seems like it's a bit of an homage to him. Is that something you've ever been able to talk to him about, how he feels about that, or do you care?
He don't like it. I'm pretty sure he liked it because he watched the show, but it's like his fans is the one that get on my head a lot. They be like, oh, he just trying to be like Austin. Why you doing an Austin move? And they'll tag him in like Twitter posts. I'm like, well, damn, why don't y'all hit up people who do the drop kick and say they copying Mr. Perfect or whoever put on a sleeper hold? Call up the first person to do that. Why y'all hitting on me? Because I'm black? That's probably what it is.
I guarantee you that's what it is. That's all. It's just, yeah, they're just racist. I guarantee
and it's
it.
like I do the stunner. The reason I do the stunner is because it's awesome. I'm an Austin fan. He seemed fine with it. And no matter if you're tall, skinny, or fat, you can hit anybody with a stunner.
Exactly, Willie. And I try to tell people that your finish has to be something you can do to anyone of any size. You know, if you have to pick somebody up to do your finish, not a good idea in my book, unless you're like, you know, Mark Henry or somebody like that. You know, somebody that, you know,
Willie
is
is
going to always be
ridiculously
that strong.
He's
Oh, I
got
know
like
he is.
freaky Willie strength.
Willie, I get it. And speaking of what Jimbo just said about you being freakishly strong, do you work out? Do you go to the gym?
No.
I knew it.
I love it.
I knew it.
He's more agile and stronger than so many wrestlers. It's crazy.
Natural
talent.
Insane athlete, insanely strong, and God given. God gave it to you. Your parents and God. Damn, making me sick.
Speaking of your parents, can we talk about Foots?
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
Tell us some good Foot stories for the people who don't know about your dad.
Well, Foots was 81 when he passed, and he was an older cat, and he was tall. I don't see how the hell I'm so short. He was about 6'6". But the thing about him, he was from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, from the country, and he liked to walk around basically naked around the house.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Or he'll have a T-shirt and some socks and be somewhat decent.
Sounds like Nick Bockwinkel.
Because I tell my homeboy, Biggie Biggs, you know Biggie Biggs, right?
Yeah, Ray Biggie Biggs.
And he went to Tornado. I'm like, all right, they went over to my house to drop me off. We had to grab something. And I was like, hey, I'm going to tell you this right now before we walk in. All my daddy wears is a shirt and some socks. They were like, all right, cool. I'm like, no, listen. All he wears is a shirt and some socks. They're like, all right, damn, okay, cool. Sure enough, as soon as we walk in, we had like a little studio apartment gimmick. As soon as we walk in and open the door, my daddy right there in the kitchen cooking up some eggs with a T-shirt and some socks on, balls and Johnson and ass just hanging out everywhere. And Big Biggs was like, damn. And I was like, I told you.
What's the deal with that, man?
Hey, he old school. He was like, if you was 81, would you give a damn? You're like, it's my house. If they don't like it, they can get the hell out.
Oh, Willie, I'd love to hear more about your childhood and growing up. And what kind of a kid would you say you were?
I was a kid.
Yeah. Did you always have such a big personality? Were you always so darn lovable?
Well, I guess so, because it was kind of tough for me coming up, because I was in foster care my whole life. Yeah, because like my mom, I was born like an 80s baby, which is basically your mom did drugs and they had you in the womb and it passed on to me.
Oh, shit.
And months later, I got caught in a fire because my mama was high on some stuff and she was trying to cook something and burnt up the house. My hand caught fire and like a part of my leg, and my bigger sister, who was way older, kicked in the door and got us out. And I ended up in foster care with a person named Ira Richardson. She took care of me. She was a family friend, and she raised me as her own. And then, like, all I had was really wrestling to look up to, because it was like I had to deal with going to special education classes, too, because there wasn't nothing wrong with me. It's just like, oh, he had drugs in the system when he was younger. Let's just throw him up in here. But, like, y'all see I'm normal as hell. And, like, the thing was, I wanted to do something different. Because I saw wrestling, I'm like, damn, these people having fun and traveling, and I see I was living in the hood. I don't want to, like, be a statistic, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at him, he gonna rob somebody, kill somebody, he gonna try to come up in our house. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to say I traveled the world, and when people look back on me, they'll be like, oh, he was doing good. He wasn't out there looting or doing nothing stupid. He was making a positive impact, even though it's just wrestling. But I could go out on the street, people be like, hey, you Willie Mack, ain't you? And not, oh, you gonna try to steal my purse and just run across the street, something like that. So
yeah, well,
something to get me away from it.
So when you're a kid and they put you in these special ed classes and they tell you something's wrong with you, you might actually start believing that shit, Willie.
I know, cause it messed me up, but I knew it wasn't wrong with me because I grew up and functioned normally. But like, it's just one thing that messed you up in the past, it'll label you for the rest of your life. And I was like the school I was at when you came up there.
Yeah.
It was like, you saw me, I wasn't bad. I was just a normal kid just doing what I normally do.
Well, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't say y'all were normal. It's just, it was normal to y'all. You know, that was y'all's life. But other people like that come from different walks of life would see that and think it was anything but normal, how, you know? And, but Willie,
but in South Central
you're doing
LA,
great.
it's pretty normal. And what about your friends at school? Did you guys get together and watch wrestling? Like, what kept you on the right path?
Well, yeah, some of us would. Like, another teacher would take us to a wrestling show once in a while. His name was Edgar Hurtado. He took us to SmackDown in Anaheim, and we watched that on a Tuesday, and it was awesome. And then we would just get together and be like, "Oh, what you think Rey Mysterio gonna do tonight?" And click up and like chill. But like, I was the only one that stuck with it because it was like 3 of us that said we was gonna be wrestlers, and I'm the only one that's progressed and gone through with it. The other dudes I don't really hear from them much. Just like a little higher what's up on Facebook. And
were they kids in the same foster care as you?
Oh no, they was just people that went to the school.
Were they like in the same class as you? Did I meet them as well?
Yeah.
No.
Yep, it was a dude. It was a bigger dude with like a big old nose.
Yeah.
He had like curly hair, and then it was another short dude named Joshua. And like, we was the happiest ones to meet you because like the other fools was like, "Oh shit, you're a wrestler," but then it was like they didn't really like, you know.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
But Willie, you know, I was thinking about your class that you were in, and you know, I like joked about it and said it was like the Welcome Back Kotter class, and a lot of the older people or a lot of the younger people are like, "Welcome Back Kotter, what the hell is that?" You know, but you know, Willie, how are the other kids, you know, that were in that class? Like, you know, like some of them dead, some of them doing well, some of them fall off. You know, how
yes, one of them got shot. Another one got hit by a bus, and like some of them is homeless and stuff like that. Cause it messed me up because I was on the bus going to like the Blue Line station in LA, the train station, and I was going down and I looked out the corner of my eye and I looked again. I seen this chick with two little babies chilling, begging for change, and then I looked real good at her face. It was one of the people that I went to school with at that same school you came and visited.
Damn, Willie. Yeah.
And I was like, it messed me up because I was like, damn, you was like one of the hottest chicks at the school. You looked like you was going to do some good and you had good grades, but then here you are right here.
Yeah. And people talk about wrestling and how it, you know, can be such a bad thing to get into. It can also save a person's life, man. And I feel like it did that for me, you know.
Sounds like it did that for Willie, too. Instead of being another, you know, statistic, you broke stereotypes to show that you could succeed at what your goals were. And look at where you are now. Now you go into the supermarket in Vegas and people are like, oh, it's the Mac.
How did you go from being that 14-year-old fan to finally hitting the ring and starting to train? How did all that happen for you?
Well, again, Marcus Haggerty hit me up and said, hey, Willie, you like wrestling so much. And we used Yahoo search because I don't think Google was around yet. And we looked up wrestling schools in Southern California. And the one that popped up was Pro Wrestling Revolution, or Revolution Pro. And I went there on one of my days off from school when I was 14 after I met Pac.
Yeah.
And trained for a little bit and had some fun because it was preparing for a show on Saturday. So everybody was getting a little intel in and whatnot, trying to work out their matches and training. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till I'm 18 and graduate from high school and get my diploma, and I'm going to be right back here in 4 years. Sure enough, I graduated on a Wednesday. Training was on a Thursday. It was June 20th, 2005 when I graduated. And then the next day I showed up, bought me some wrestling shoes and some knee pads and something to work out in, and started training.
Nice. Now,
You're
Willie,
trained by Joey, right? Joey Ryan?
I was trained by too many people.
And that's good, man. I mean,
EJ, Perkins, Joey Ryan, Rocky Romero, Alex Kozlov, Aaron Aguilera, Skydie, Lil Cholo, Martine Marine, Infernal, a bunch of folks. Too many people. I can't really. Yeah, it's a lot.
So some of those guys aren't a whole lot older than you, or wouldn't have had a whole lot more experience than you did at that point.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I guess so.
How do you look at those guys now? Do you stay in touch with obviously you wrestle them all the time, but what do you guys talk about when you get together? Is it like, oh, we never knew that this was going to happen, or hey, we're right where we always thought we'd be?
Well, yeah, something like that, because we all look at each other and know where we came from. It's like we was wrestling in little marketplaces or outdoor spots. Now we in the little arenas and stuff, and we're wrestling on TV, and you was like, damn, did you think 10 years ago we'd be on television? And I was like, hell yeah, that's what I was striving for.
That's awesome. We have a question from a fan. Jason Worthing wanted to know if you keep in contact with people like TJ and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and all the people you wrestled in the indies that are now in WWE.
Yeah, mostly I'll just talk a little, say some what's ups to them on Twitbox and whatnot. Me and TJ Perkins be playing on the PlayStation. We play a lot of Overwatch and Battlefront and Battlefield 1. Kevin Steen, I ran into him like once after he got signed, and that was about it. Sami Zayn, I ran into him a couple times when I worked at a ball.
What was their interaction with you since they've been signed? Were they like, oh man, I can't wait till you're up here to wrestle with you up here?
Yeah, it was kind of like that, but then the whole thing happened, and it was like everybody got quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of hard, Willie, because people don't know what to say. Because it's like, oh, hey, man, I'm sorry, and that's what everyone would say, and it's just a real awkwardness. Like, you feel like shit for the person, but it's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another question we had from Jason Worthing was, have you ever had any negative encounters with any wrestlers?
Yeah, it sounds like there's so many guys that you looked up to, and I know you must run into them.
Nothing really I can say right now.
Ah.
I can think of two. I don't know if we want to talk about it, but I'm going to bring up two. One is your match with Shad Gaspar at QPW. You want to tell that story?
I don't know what we're talking about here. I'm not familiar with this.
Willie? No?
Well, it was for a company called Quintessential Pro, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was supposed to wrestle Brian Kendrick, but he called off, and I guess he had Shad as a replacement. And you know how the thing goes. It's like, all right, this is the card, this is the lineup, this is what's supposed to happen. But he switched it around. You're like, oh, I'll do it for you any day, but I can't do it right now because I got a big movie coming up and this and that. I got commercials and whatnot, so I'm going over today. And I'm like, all right, screw it, I don't care. And then sure enough, that's what happened.
So basically he changed the finish on Willie in the match. Willie was supposed to go over to make storylines and future shows work, and then he changed that. So then from then on, the show had to put on the lineup, do not change any finishes.
Damn.
Basically. And then the other one that comes to mind was in your three-way match with you, Scorpio Sky, and Teddy Hart.
Oh, yeah.
You want to tell that story?
Well, the thing with Teddy was just random because, what happened was we were supposed to do like a spot afterwards. It was the three of us. It was supposed to be four. It was supposed to be me and Ruckus versus Scorpio Sky and Teddy Hart. But Ruckus couldn't make his fight or something happened like that. Well, anyway, we work in the match. Me and Scorpio do a spot, and I leaned over, and he was supposed to kick me in the chest, but I don't know how this happened. He kicked me right in the balls.
Who, Scorpio or Teddy Hart?
Scorpio.
Oh.
So I was curled over in the corner. I was like, God, Willie, I'm sorry. And this is in the middle of the match, and Teddy Hart come over and start working some heat on me, and he was like, he got mad at the promoter during the match. He was like, why you got me here with green guys who can't remember their spots? and this and that.
Jesus
and I'm
Christ.
like thinking to myself, I just got kicked in the nuts for real. And you want me to? No, that's hurt. But then he started kicking me in my face when I'm down on the ground. He kicked me once, and I'm like, all right, let me see how many times this motherfucker think he gonna do it. I kind of got push-up position on the second one, and then he kicked me a third time. I got up. I just lit his ass up with some chops.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, pop. He forearmed me, hit him even harder. He forearmed me again, hit him twice as hard. He forearmed me one last time. He knew that chop was coming. And when I went to chop him, he threw up both his hands. So I'm like, all right, I see what you're doing. So when I went to chop him, I used my left hand to grab both of his hands and move him away from his face, and I slapped him right in his face.
Oh, shit.
Like, he went to roll out the ring. I kicked him right in the middle of his spine and cracked his ass on the way out and told him to get your ass back up in the ring.
Yeah, what happened then?
At the same time, when that thing happened with Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston.
Yeah. What?
Remember when Orton called Kofi stupid because, like, Ted DiBiase Jr. tripped him on the top rope, and he would, like, fed up too quick for the RKO or something, and he got mad at him for that? I was thinking that same thing when I was in my match. I'm like, hell no, you ain't gonna try to embarrass me, fool. What's your problem? I don't care what your name is.
Damn.
Well, let's talk about Bola a little bit and PWG. I'm sure Jimbo has some of those kind of questions.
I mean, how was it, just the experience from going as a fan in the sweatbox at the Jewish Community Center to finally getting to wrestle in PWG? Not alone wrestle in PWG, but wrestle top stars and names and see your character build and the crowd get behind you. What was that like?
It was awesome because you're going in there I was a fan. It was like I used to help set up the chairs and stuff because I was a big wrestling fan. I set up the chairs or help put up the ring. I like anything I could do to get close to wrestling, I'll do it. And then here I am in the locker room with people that I've been watching for like years as a fan at PWG, and it's like, man, I remember when you wrestled Christopher Daniels here for an hour and this and that, and now I'm getting to wrestle you tonight. It's like dream come true type stuff. It's weird because it's like, all right, he a normal dude like me, but I actually watched him for a long ass time and have videos of him. It trips you out when you're in there to work with him, and then when it happens and you feel good about it and everything turns out great, it's like, all right, now I show that I belong here. Like, I'm not a fan no more, but now I'm actually a pro wrestler doing what I'm supposed to do.
Is there any moment in PWG or match specifically that really sticks out to you? Like, for me, it was your send-off. It was very emotional, especially for someone like me who'd seen you grow. I remember you coming out as a manager for Infernal and finally seeing you actually get to wrestle and telling you how impressed I was, and you were, like, angry with me. You're like, huh. I was like, no, man, you really did good tonight. I didn't expect it. And your words were, people don't know I could do shit till I do it.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Well, we haven't seen you at PWG since that send off. Are any plans to return to their shows?
Well, when you're a wrestler, you ain't got no plans just to get more bookings, and it's up to the promoter to hit you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just a state away and a phone call away, and it'll probably be a cheap ticket, but they know where I sit. They know how to kind of...
Willie, I don't really hear your name being thrown around like over in the UK or anything like that yet. You been over there?
2011.
Huh.
Just because I went for 6 weeks. I did WXW in Germany.
Yes.
And then I went over to Brian Dixon's camp over there
you?
for All-Star Wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the experience
yeah,
like? Yeah,
please tell us about that. Yeah.
Well, it was funny because you know about the digs. If you've been there, the digs is something. Shower was broke.
What do you mean the digs?
The washing machine was broke.
What are you talking about the digs, Willie?
Oh, Brian Dixon's house. He has in where's it? Birkenhead, England. There we go.
Okay. Is that where everyone stays?
That's one of his houses, but like mostly the wrestlers stay there.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why he cuts off, because he thinks if he leaves the Wi-Fi router on, it'll catch fire and burn up the house. So like at 6 o'clock in the morning, as soon as you hear that click of the switch go on, everybody pick up their phone or their computer and get that Wi-Fi, because as soon as 10 o'clock hits in the morning, he's gone and everything turns off, except the TVs and whatnot. I'm like, the route ain't gonna blow up. We got people to call and make sure everything's straight back in the United States. What's wrong with you?
Anybody that we heard of wrestling on those shows in England with Brian Dixon?
Yeah, it was me, Drew Gulak, Jonathan Gresham, Eric Cannon. You heard of him?
Of course, I know Eric from Minnesota. Totally.
And Darren Corbin.
Yeah, Minnesota boy.
Oh, Darren. Love Darren.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Who else was there with me?
Was Gangrel over there?
No, he wasn't there that time. Joe Legend.
Yeah. Oh, Joe. Yeah, just Joe.
Yeah.
But Brian Dixon's, it's called All-Star Wrestling.
Yep.
Right? And these shows, Brian Dixon's like the longest running promoter in the UK. And is all like very dependable as far as the amount of shows you're going to have working for him. You know, people might say, oh, he doesn't pay very much or whatever, but you're getting steady work and gaining experience and that. But you know, they would go around to all these different camps in the summertime where everybody goes to vacation, and that's where all the shows were. Pretty much, right?
Yeah, the Butlins and the Haven camps.
Yeah.
Hey, I felt bad as hell when I went there the first time because it was summertime, like you said, and it was 4th of July.
Yeah.
Driving around London, and it was dark, and I was like, where the fireworks at? They were like, what you mean? I like, it's the 4th of July. And it was like, everybody got quiet. They're like, we don't celebrate that here. And I was like, oh, I'm in a different country. That's right.
It might be a little.
Willie's all waiting for the fireworks.
It might still be a sore subject to them, Willie. They probably thought you were screwing with them.
This was my first time. It was a genuine, honest question. I felt bad as hell after. I'm like, oh, no.
Well, I think it's about time for you to go back to UK, man, because things are on fire over there. You should go get you some of that.
Oh, hell yeah. I miss having that HP sauce and those bangers and mash and that cider.
Oh, the cider.
So you've been to the UK. I know you toured Australia with Lucha Vavoom, and you're doing Mexico with Lucha Underground. Have you been to Japan?
Yeah, for Lucha Vavoom.
Oh, you were for Lucha Vavoom as well. What was that experience like?
It was sweet. The Fiji Rocks Festival, it was pretty good. We got to see, what's that one? The Lumineers or whatever.
Oh, the Lumineers. They just sold out Madison Square Garden. But anyways.
They was there. Who else was there? Outkast and DMX and a bunch of random people just was like out there, and it was like a campsite gimmick. And it was up in the mountains on the old ski resort. So we getting around to see all this beautiful scenery, and it was fun. And like, the people really dig me. I had my purple fuzzy boots and my pimp coat and did my little chocolate thing, and they was going crazy. You know how Japanese folks is usually quiet when they watch wrestling? They was screaming when my black ass got on here.
Yeah, I was going to ask how the Japanese reacted to the Lucha Vavoom, because it's very different. It's more like a variety show that has wrestling in it than just like a wrestling show, or certainly a wrestling show that Japanese fans are used to.
Well, they reacted to it pretty good. I thought it was going to be but since I guess they used to DDT and hustle and whatever else they got out there that's like comedic type stuff, they was used to it already, so they liked it. They loved it.
Yeah, they get it. They understand that, you know, it's not, you know, they understand it as what it is. Like, they got used to that back. There used to be a promotion over there called Hustle. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Well, they would take guys like Takada, the shoot fighter, you know, from UWF. He played a guy named like General Takada. You know, it was like the fastest character. I mean, it had all kinds of crazy characters, and they were like, you know, people like Minoru Suzuki and like legit, like, you know, serious pro wrestlers over there doing that, and it was entertainment. People knew, you know, so it's cool. It's cool they've gotten to that point over there.
What was the monster dude? Huge Gay something? He was Huge something.
Who?
Huge Gay something? He was something like that.
Razor Ramon Hard Gay he was called.
There we go.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What a gimmick.
Yeah, but he didn't look anything like Scott Hall's Razor Ramon. He looked like a male, kind of like a Japanese Chippendale guy almost.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact nature of the gimmick, but it was over huge for a while in Japan.
Hargay is a like a variety show comedian type.
Yeah.
So when he transitioned into wrestling, it was even bigger.
Right. So you know more about it than we do, Mark.
It's flippin' hilarious, and the Japanese people love him.
So was I right? Was I right when I was talking about hustle?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Don't be afraid to correct me, y'all, because I know I'm not perfect. I learned that in rehab.
Well, recently, Willie, you just had a match against RVD at PCW. How was that? What were your thoughts?
That was amazing because it was like, I know it was an older cat, but like when we got there, I was like, all right, he probably ain't gonna want to do nothing. But then we start putting together all this sweet stuff, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, if we want to do some shit, I'm like, yeah. It's like, man, I told him, I was like, you know what? When I had Raw versus SmackDown, I created myself, and I was wrestling for the championship, and you win and I'd win, but now it's really happening today. And like, you could see the genuine smile and stuff on his face when like he would go over his spot. But then I'm like, all right, I remember that you did this with so-and-so. He was like, oh, hell yeah, you remember that? And I'm like, yeah, you did it with Jerry Lynn. That's what made y'all pop off and get famous. So hell yeah, we can do that tonight.
Nice.
You said that in the match, too. It made me laugh so hard. He went for like a chair shot or something. Willie's like, I ain't falling for that. You did that shit to Jerry Lynn. Everyone in the crowd was just laughing.
Like he went for a leg sweep, and I jumped up and leg dropped him afterwards. And he was like, oh, so you watch my stuff? I was like, yeah, you tried to pull that same shit on Jerry Lynn. You ain't getting me.
Good. Nobody else seems to do any studying or any research on their opponents. If they did, they would be able to do more shit like that. You know, I like to study tape of my opponents before every match.
Yeah, well, Willie was growing up watching a lot of these people, it sounds like, as a fan. Have you ever had a hard time wrestling someone because you were fanning out so hard?
No, because at the end of the day, I always think about what my daddy Fritz told me. I was like, oh, he's such and such. And he was like, all right, do we breathe air? I was like, yeah. Do we eat and drink water? Yeah. Do we have to take a shit? Yeah. Well, what makes him different from you?
Yeah.
That's a great outlook.
Yeah.
I like that.
Speaking of Foots, what do you think he would say if he could see you doing all your stuff in Lucha Underground and everything right now?
Well, he was prideful, but I'm pretty sure hopefully he would have liked what I'm doing. As long as I was having fun and not getting hurt, he didn't care. Because, like, I remember I won the championship wrestling from Hollywood television title. He was laying down in the bed asleep. It was a Sunday afternoon. I won it. And sure enough, I came straight home. I laid the belt on him. I said, Daddy, check out what I got. He looked up and lifted it up. He's like, oh, that's nice, son. Show me to me in the morning, though. I'm proud of you. And I took the belt off of him, and yeah, that's how he was.
Wow.
Do you remember the red carpet rumble? You and I were in it together.
Yep.
You remember what happened at the end?
Oh yeah, when you got flopped out.
When I got flopped out, like you had nothing to do with it.
I just lifted my arms up. I didn't know you was gonna go all the way hard.
Yeah.
You
Willie,
going in?
Willie backdropped me over the top rope. I couldn't even. He backdropped me, so it was like he didn't give a shit. It's like, I don't care who you are. Like, I'm trying to get over. He backdropped me over the top rope, so far I couldn't even touch the ropes. I landed on my right knee's already screwed. I landed on my left knee. I thought that one was done. I couldn't walk.
Wow.
I legit couldn't walk. And it was all Willie's fault. Had nothing to do with me just trying to take a hell of a bump.
Willie gave me a backdrop into a swimming pool once, and I was just like waiting for the water.
Willie
like, where's the water?
Willie backdropped me off the roof of the Rainbow Bar and Grill one time.
Really?
Yeah, just trying to top your story.
Am I the only one who hasn't been backdropped by Willie in this room?
We gotta get that. We gotta get that.
Next time you're in LA, hit me up, Willie.
Willie, I had a lot of fun out there in that red carpet rumble, and everybody took really good care of me. And I got carried away, Willie. I still get carried away out there. I was having a lot of fun with you. The people loved you, and I was just trying to, I was trying to give you the endorsement. and just trying to do the best job I could for you. And that's what happened. That's what I get for doing that shit. I'll never do it again for anyone.
Damn, but you was up there hype as hell and ready to go.
Yeah,
you
damn
stepped
right.
on my head too, because I remember you came in. I heard your music. You ran in. I did the bumper feed for you.
Yeah.
And then I was under the ropes, and since it was so many damn people laying down in the corner like some assholes, you hit the rope to do your little spot with Eric Cross, I think.
Yeah.
And sure enough, when you pivoted to come back to hit the ropes, you stepped all on my shit, and I was like, oh.
Dope. I swear it was an accident. So that's why you did that to me?
What happened?
That's why you backdropped me all the way to the floor where I got hurt?
You said it.
I'm just giving you shit, Willie. Anyways, and I'll cut it out. It's not getting over too good anyways. So I think we kept Willie long enough, man.
You think we've harassed him long enough?
I have one more question for you. So I know how much you love animated series and you're a big fan of Metalocalypse and cartoons and whatnot. If you could be an animated character in any cartoon, what would you pick?
An animated character in any cartoon? Probably Black Dynamite, I guess.
Not what I was expecting at all.
What you expect?
I thought you'd pick like a Pokemon.
I thought you were gonna say Uncle what's his name from Boondocks.
Oh, Uncle Ruckus?
Yeah, Uncle Ruckus. No, I'm just kidding.
A hot show that's coming up. It's called The Legend of Chamberlain Heights.
Yeah,
that show's hilarious.
It's awesome. Check it out if you ain't watched it yet. Legend of Chamberlain Heights.
Well, Willie, how about you tell us about your upcoming wrestling shows and stuff too, where we can come and see you?
All right, I just got to walk over here to my calendar. I got a legit calendar I got to write stuff down on because, when you get older, you forget stuff.
Well, because you're a busy guy.
You mean like a paper calendar that you write on with a pen, an ink pen?
You see this? Where's that? You see that? I got a legit calendar.
It is the year 2017, Willie.
Did your girl hook you up with that to keep you organized?
Yes, let's talk about Ophi before we let him go.
Yeah.
Got a show the 12th of this month coming up in Denver, Colorado for Primero Bro. I got a show in Phoenix, Arizona on the 19th for Poor Lucha Libre. The Crash in Tijuana on the 25th.
That's Conan and them's promotion, right?
Yep, it's
Nice.
pretty good. It's picking up some fire, and then a lot more stuff coming up soon, and I got a lot more dates to fill. So hopefully people hit me up so I can get some cash to feed my cat, my hamsters, and my 4 turtles.
Yeah. Hey, send a tweet out with your open dates, and I'll retweet that shit.
All right. Actually, I just retweeted a tweet that my girlfriend sent out. Where's she at? I know you in here.
She probably don't want to. She probably don't want to be on camera. That ain't nice to do to a lady.
Let's say hi to Ophi.
Well, she's probably hiding somewhere.
Probably in bed.
She's probably wondering who the hell you're talking to, Willie.
How important is having her supporting you and having her around helped you out in your career and just in life?
Oh, it's great because it's like when I was going through that WWE thingy when I got released, I felt like the worst person in the world and didn't want to get out of bed, didn't want to do nothing. Yeah, but the thing is, she was pushing me. She was like, you know who you are. It's their fault. It's their fault. They let you go. They're going to realize later on that they messed up. So you just keep doing what made you popular and what made them want to sign you in the first place. Because, like, I don't want to have nothing to kind of do with wrestling. I said I was going to quit wrestling before, like, anything took my love away from it. But she kept me into it and had that. She had my back basically through everything and just lifted me up through shows when I was like, man, I can't do it. She'd be like, come on, go out there. They paying you for this and the people want to see you. I'm like, all right, I'll go out there and do it and end up having fun. And I guess I'm back to my old self to loving wrestling again like I used to.
That's the kind of woman a man needs around, is a woman to build that man up instead of tear him down. That's you're pretty blessed to have a lady like that, Willie.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm thinking for a minute there. I'm thinking she's probably standing right outside the camera with a gun to his head, making him say all this shit. No, I'm just kidding, Willie. I'm just kidding. Hopefully she knows that.
Well, Willie, thank you so much for giving us your time today. This has been so much fun, as we knew it would be. Hope you had fun too.
Thank y'all for having me on. And if y'all want to support, head on over to Pro Wrestling Tees, Willie Mack, and pick up my shirts.
Yeah, do it.
You need to get that old school Hershey's bar that you used to have, like your first shirt that said like the chocolate juggalo. You need to get one of those on Pro Wrestling Tees.
And it was a brown shirt. It's the only brown T-shirt I've ever liked. Actually, like, cause you know what I think of when I think of brown. You know, not something. No, not chocolate. So,
Bobby Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll make sure to check it out, Willie.
Yep. Hit me up. Y'all see my Twitter handle down there. Hit me up on that. Hit me up on the Facebook. I got a fan page now, Official Willie Mack, because I got too many friends. So I had to make a fan page out of nowhere. Instagram, the same thing, too. So, yeah, keep up with me. I'm going to be in your city and town. Request it from the promoters, too, because they be holding out sometimes.
Where are you now, Willie? Before I let you go, where are you now? Are you in L.A. or are you in Vegas still?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nice. Well, hey, man, it makes it harder for me to come see you, but hopefully I'll get a chance to see you soon, man. It's been a minute.
Hell yeah, man. Hopefully we can get together with Haggerty and Pops if you pick up his phone and hang out sometime.
People are going, who the hell's Pops? Anyhow, hey, man, thank you so much, Willie. I hope you know I'm extremely proud of you, man. And thank you for spending your time with us. I know it's not something that I know we got you up early this morning. So thanks, man. Miss you, bro.
Thank you for having me on. Hey, y'all had me on here. I mean, y'all got confidence in what I got to say. So hell yeah, I'm gonna be thankful. Thank you.
Yeah, man. We'll talk to you later, Willie.
Thanks, Willie.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye. Oh, wow, gosh, I just love when you have such a personal connection with somebody like that.
Yeah.
It just really makes for such a great interview. That was fun, but we're going to have more coming up for you right after this. Stay tuned.
SiriusXM stars channel 109. It's called Conversations with Maria, and it's live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Go to conversationswithmaria.com for more info. Buzz you later.
Welcome back to X-Pac 12360, the show that allows Sean to catch up with his old friends.
It's true, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had a chance to actually sit and talk to Willie about a lot of those things.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I
Yeah,
mean,
you heard some stuff you haven't known before,
of course.
right?
Yes. And the same can be said about so many people. I'm going to need to actually just bring on the show so I can catch up with them. And it's cool, though, because then the people can be in on it. You know, everyone out there listening.
Yeah.
And I dig that. They should. I mean, because some really cool shit gets said during conversations with my friends, and a lot of it, it's like, man, I wish some people could hear this. And they can.
Yeah.
You can. Just subscribe to us on iTunes.
Yes. Hey, I like it. Getting all pluggy.
See how I did that shit?
Well, I like that. Well, while we're telling them to do stuff again, you have a show coming up. This is Friday or Saturday, the 18th. FullyLoadedWrestling.com. You can get your tickets. That one is in Newtown, North Dakota, at the Four Bears Casino. So you know there ain't a whole lot else to do in
It's
Newtown,
up there near
North Dakota.
Minot.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
been
a little
up
chilly up there.
Minot, North Dakota. I was 18 the last time I was in Minot, North Dakota, and I wrestled Jerry Lynn.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yep.
God, I can't believe how you remember that stuff. That's crazy. Well, everybody go and get your tickets for that. And
So
speaking of...
there was this guy named Tony DiNucci was in the bathroom on the toilet stall sitting down. Like, I'll let you use your imagination as to what he was doing. And so I never...
The trainer?
Tony DiNucci was just some guy that was stealing Dominic
You're thinking
DiNucci's
Dominic
name.
DiNucci.
Oh, right.
No, but anyways, it could have been anybody. But if you knew Tony DiNucci, this was funny. I kicked the door open while he was on the shitter, and I zapped him in the chest with a cattle prod, and he flew all the way up against a frickin' wall. Yeah, I think he might have had a bit of a mess going too, but it left like a big red mark on his chest. Yeah.
So you got some antics in mind for North Dakota then this time around?
I would be hot if somebody did that to me.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah. I'd say.
Not only were you tased, now you probably got like crap all over you.
Exactly.
Oh man. Did
So-
he ever get you back?
No.
No.
No, actually, he got me back by having a really shitty match with me. He just wasn't trying to get me back. It just happens that way a lot. No.
Well, speaking of all your friends that you've had on and the folks you know and how that makes such a great interview, I got to tell the people that we will have Joey Ryan with us in studio next week. He's going to be sitting his butt right on the couch. No. He's going to be sitting his butt right here in this chair. I'm going to put my butt over there. It's going to be a whole thing. We have a place for all the butts. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
But his
Hold on to
will
your
be
butts.
here with us, so that should be a lot of fun.
Oh, I forgot. Well, obviously, I'm looking forward to Joey Ryan.
Yes.
Yeah. You know I'm a big Joey Ryan fan, right?
Yeah, I think everybody is.
Hey, real quick, I forgot to mention at the top of the show because we had Bill on. Happy 93rd birthday to Mario Maglieri, the owner of the Rainbow Bar and Grill. It was his birthday party was yesterday. It was a smaller get-together, but it was cool. Yeah, this guy, man. He's still sharp. Sharp as can be. Hips are bothering him, but I mean, just razor sharp upstairs.
Does he know exactly how much your tab is there?
Hey, I pay my tab. I never run up a tab. I pay as I go.
I believe it. Well, happy birthday, Mario.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. And guys, if you're looking for a gift for somebody or for yourself, because you deserve it for watching this show, hit up Sean's
Easy for you to
store,
say.
right? Sean's store, Pro Wrestling Tees, and get your X-Pac 12360 shirts. And you know I'm always giving you the news reports and all that. You can always hit me up at Christy Reports and let me know what you think about the show. I love to hear from you. Jimbo, where can everybody reach out to you at?
Follow me on Twitter at Jimbo in the Booth. Buy my Young Bucks documentary, The Young Bucks 2 Sweet Journey, at highspots.com. Also, check out WrestleCon for those Click reunion. Get your tickets for that. Go for the top tier if you can afford it, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Thank you, Jimbo.
Cross off your bucket list.
That's right. And make sure you give us a thumbs up at facebook.com/xpac12360 show. And follow us on Instagram at xpac12360 for some fun exclusives. And Sean, where can they reach out to you at?
You know, at the real X-Pac.
The real one.
Yeah.
The real one.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey.
Instagram, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Instagram. Well,
The one that
I tag you
I
in
never
stuff.
use. Yeah,
No,
I
you
see them on
don't.
my phone. I see these like Instagram tags, Instagram, but I just I can't get it. I can't. I'm over having to try and do it on the phone.
No, I know. I'm with you.
If Instagram, if you could do it from your laptop, I'd be all over it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Get on it, Insta.
I mean, change that shit just for me, Instagram. I dare you.
I'm sure they're
Anyway,
listening.
Hey,
And thank you all for listening.
Yeah. And anyway, we'll see you next week, or you can listen to us next week right here on AfterBuzz TV, and iTunes, and what else? YouTube, SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Are we on Stitcher yet?
We are not on Stitcher yet. I
Can
knew
we
that
get
was
on
coming.
Stitcher, people? Can we please get on some Stitcher?
That's
Help
out
us
of
out
our
here,
hands.
people.
It's out of
All
our
right.
hands.
So
We're working
thank
on
you
it,
guys, and we'll talk to y'all next week. Thank you, Jimbo. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Mark.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Phil Svitek, Keven Undergaro, show producer Jimbo Frank, managing editor of AfterBuzz Wrestling Christy Olson, and managing producer of AfterBuzz Wrestling Mark Bidonica, and the entire X-Pac 12360 staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in. Feel free to like us on Facebook, rate and comment on iTunes and YouTube, follow X-Pac on Twitter at TheRealXpac, and email us at xpac12360show@gmail.com. This has been a presentation of the AfterBuzz TV Network. Buzz you later!